Today, we're exploring the key ideas from Die with Zero by Bill Perkins. This is an independent educational overview, enriched with our own integrative analysis and actionable exercises. Think of it as a guided reflection to spark your own insights, not a replacement for reading the book itself. Reclaiming Life's True Currency, a commentary on experiential living. In a society often obsessed with financial accumulation, a radical reevaluation emerges. Life's ultimate currency isn't the wealth we amass, but the sum of experiences we gather. This perspective challenges the pervasive notion that endlessly deferred gratification serves our highest good, arguing instead for a deliberate, proactive approach to maximizing fulfillment within our finite existence. It's a stark reminder that while we can always earn more money, we can never reclaim a single lost moment. The fundamental principle is to optimize our finite resources, time, health, and wealth, to create a rich tapestry of memories and adventures, rather than allowing precious life energy to lie fallow in accounts we may never empty. This isn't about reckless spending, but about intentional allocation, recognizing that true wealth is measured in lived moments, not ledger balances. Redefining wealth, life energy, and the memory dividend. The conventional understanding of wealth often fixates on monetary accumulation, the ever-growing balance in an investment portfolio, the ever-increasing net worth. However, a more profound perspective redefines wealth as life energy, the finite hours and days we dedicate to earning, saving, and managing our resources. Every dollar acquired represents a fragment of our irreplaceable time, a portion of our vitality invested. This reframing instantly alters our perception of expenditure. A high-paying job, for instance, might appear lucrative on paper, but when its demands necessitate a 2-hour daily commute, an expensive professional wardrobe, and countless late nights, its true hourly value, when measured against personal time and well-being, diminishes significantly. The perceived free coffee at the office suddenly costs far more than its market price in sacrificed personal time. This concept extends to how we view savings. If wealth is life energy, then unspent wealth at the end of life represents forfeited time, hours worked for naught, experiences never had. Imagine years spent diligently saving for a lavish world tour, only to find in one's later decades that physical limitations or the absence of cherished travel companions render the dream impossible. The money remains, but the capacity for joy has waned. Such a scenario exemplifies a tragic misallocation of life energy, a profound waste of the very resource it was meant to enhance. Instead, the wise approach involves viewing certain expenditures not as expenses, but as vital investments, investments in experiences. Unlike material possessions, which often depreciate and eventually become obsolete, experiences generate an enduring memory dividend. A family vacation to a national park, for instance, offers immediate joy in the moment, the laughter around a campfire, the shared wonder of a mountain vista. But this initial pleasure doesn't vanish. Years later, a photograph, a familiar sense, or even a shared inside joke can instantly transport individuals back to those moments, allowing them to relive the emotions, insights, and connections. These memories don't just endure, they can compound. Sharing stories of that trip with friends or future generations creates new connections and further amplifies the initial value, generating continued enjoyment and strengthening bonds. This memory dividend pays out over a lifetime, becoming a source of pride, comfort, and reflection that far outstrips the fleeting satisfaction of a new gadget or a designer item. Crucially, the effectiveness of these investments in experiences is profoundly influenced by timing. Not all experiences are equally accessible or enjoyable at every stage of life. The vigor required for a backpacking adventure across South America, for instance, is typically abundant in one's 20s or 30s, but might be significantly diminished by one's 60s or 70s. Similarly, experiencing the magic of a children's theme park with young children is a vastly different, often more profound joy than visiting it as an older individual with grown offspring. Certain age-gated opportunities simply close forever. This highlights the importance of consumption smoothing, not just of finances, but of life itself. Just as a financial planner might advocate for drawing from future income to support present needs when future earnings are projected to be higher, so too should individuals consider strategically spending on experiences when their capacity for enjoyment, energy levels, and health are at their peak. It's about converting raw life energy into the most impactful, memorable moments at the right juncture, ensuring a continuous, rich stream of fulfillment rather than a backloaded, potentially regretful accumulation. This deliberate approach transforms life from a passive journey to an actively designed adventure, where every choice is weighed against its potential to generate lasting joy and a rich store of invaluable memories. The art of strategic decumulation, embracing life seasons. The societal narrative typically champions perpetual accumulation. Save more, earn more, always strive for a larger nest egg. However, a deliberate counter-philosophy posits that true fulfillment often requires a conscious shift from endless growth to strategic decumulation, the thoughtful spending down of assets. This is the essence of the die with zero mindset, an aspirational goal less about hitting an exact numerical target at life's end, and more about ensuring that your financial resources are fully deployed to enhance your life's experiences, rather than lying idle. The profound waste isn't in reaching zero, but in accumulating wealth far beyond what can be enjoyed or meaningfully distributed, effectively working for free for years. Many individuals, even those with substantial wealth, fall prey to the Brewster's Millions conundrum, amassing such vast sums that spending it meaningfully becomes a challenge, potentially even to the detriment of their heirs. This isn't exclusive to billionaires. It's a pattern seen across income brackets, where the habit of accumulation, the thrill of winning the financial game, overshadows the actual purpose of wealth: to facilitate a rich and fulfilling life. A professional who works relentlessly through their prime years, sacrificing family time and personal interests to build a colossal retirement fund, might discover that by the time they reach their golden years, their health or energy to truly enjoy those saved millions has significantly diminished. The money is there, but the capacity for adventure, the vigor for spontaneous travel, or even the simple pleasure of an extended hike has waned. This diminishing utility of money with age is a critical insight. Life is typically experienced in go-go, slow-go, and no-go years. The go-go period, often spanning one's younger and middle adult life, is characterized by abundant energy, curiosity, and physical capability, making it the prime time for adventurous travel, strenuous hobbies, or significant life changes. The slow-go years see a gradual decline in physical stamina, but still offer opportunities for less demanding yet deeply rewarding experiences. Finally, the no-go years, often in advanced old age, are marked by significant physical limitations, where money can primarily support comfort and care, but not active, experience-driven pursuits. To front-load saving for experiences primarily in the no-go phase is a fundamental misjudgment of life's natural progression. Consider a grandparent who keeps their antique china cabinet perpetually draped in protective covers, never truly enjoying its beauty, effectively denying themselves the very pleasure it was meant to provide. To navigate the inherent uncertainties of life's duration, especially the fear of outliving one's money, longevity risk, modern financial tools offer powerful solutions. While traditional life insurance addresses mortality risk, dying too early, annuities directly combat longevity risk. For a lump sum, an annuity guarantees a steady stream of income for the remainder of one's life, regardless of how long that may be. This mechanism allows individuals to spend more confidently in their earlier, healthier years, secure in the knowledge that their basic living expenses are covered for life. Without such a mechanism, many oversave, building enormous conservative cushions, inadvertently ensuring they die with a substantial surplus, money unspent, experiences unfelt. The reluctance to embrace such rational solutions often stems from a deeply ingrained, almost primal fear of future scarcity, overriding a logical assessment of statistical probabilities and risk-sharing benefits. Therefore, a truly strategic approach involves proactive planning, not reactive fear. Tools like life expectancy calculators, though imperfect, offer a data-driven baseline for financial projections. Beyond merely calculating your current worth, the aim is to identify your net worth peak, a deliberate point in your biological age, often between 45 and 60, where your accumulated wealth is at its highest, before you begin strategically spending it down. Before this, establishing a survival threshold is paramount, the non-negotiable amount required to cover essential living expenses for your projected remaining years, ensuring peace of mind. Once this baseline is secured, the focus shifts entirely from accumulation to a thoughtful time bucketing of life experiences. This involves sketching out a life timeline, dividing it into, say, 5-year segments, and then consciously populating those segments with desired experiences, considering when health, energy, and opportunity align best. A physically demanding hike might go into the 30s bucket, while a cruise might be better suited for the 50s. This proactive design combats the pervasive problem of delayed gratification, transforming life from an accidental journey into a deliberately crafted adventure, ensuring that opportunities are seized when they are most vibrant and meaningful, rather than regretted when they have quietly passed. Beyond the self: legacy, generosity, and calculated courage. The most common objection to a philosophy of dying with zero invariably revolves around the question of legacy, particularly concerning one's children. "What about the kids?" rings with an implied moral condemnation, suggesting such a mindset is inherently selfish. Yet, this very objection often masks a passive approach to generational wealth transfer. True generosity towards one's children isn't a post-mortem event. It's a proactive, intentional act of giving when that money can have the most profound impact. Traditional inheritances suffer from an inherent randomness. Random amounts, at a random time, often to individuals who are already financially secure. Federal Reserve data indicates that the average age for receiving an inheritance is around 60. Imagine the years of struggle, the missed entrepreneurial opportunities, or the burden of student debt a young adult faces, only to receive a substantial sum decades later when its utility for foundational life stages has passed. Research suggests the peak utility of money for an adult often falls between ages 26 and 35. This is when financial resources can be transformative, enabling a first home purchase, funding a crucial career pivot, supporting early parenthood without immense strain, or investing in education. By providing resources earlier, parents empower their children during their most impactful years, freeing their own remaining funds to fuel their personal experiences without guilt. This isn't about neglecting children. It's about optimizing the timing and impact of financial support. Furthermore, the most valuable inheritance a parent can bestow isn't monetary, but experiential: shared memories, life lessons, and the invaluable gift of time. Many parents, driven by a desire to provide abundantly, work ceaselessly, inadvertently sacrificing the very time with their children that would forge these indelible memories. Studies consistently show that positive childhood experiences, especially those involving parental affection and shared moments, have profound, lasting effects on an adult's health and well-being. Once basic needs are met, earning more money at the expense of presence can actually deplete a child's most cherished inheritance. The memory of a spontaneous weekend camping trip or an evening spent in heartfelt conversation often outweighs the value of an additional sum in a trust fund received decades later. This principle of timely giving extends beyond family to charitable contributions. The concept of giving while living exemplifies maximizing impact. Philanthropists who strategically deploy their fortunes during their lifetimes ensure their funds address pressing needs now, rather than leaving their benevolence to be implemented by future generations or institutions. The suffering that charities aim to alleviate doesn't wait, neither should generosity. This philosophy also underscores the crucial role of health as the ultimate enabler of all experiences. Neglecting one's physical and mental well-being, even while accumulating wealth, is a self-defeating strategy. Investing time and resources into health isn't merely about avoiding illness. It's about amplifying the capacity for joy, adventure, and connection at every stage of life. A person with robust health in their 50s can still undertake adventurous travel, pursue demanding hobbies, and actively engage with loved ones, experiences that money alone cannot buy if health has deteriorated. Health, therefore, is not just an asset, but the bedrock upon which a life rich in experiences is built. Finally, embracing this deliberate approach to life demands a measure of calculated courage. The principle is to be bold, not foolish, taking significant risks when there is the least to lose. Youth, with its abundant time for recovery and recalibration, offers the greatest opportunities for asymmetric risk, where the potential upside of a bold career pivot or an extended period of adventurous travel far outweighs the limited downside of a temporary setback. A career misstep in one's 20s, for example, is often easily absorbed and overcome, yielding invaluable experience. Yet fear often paralyzes individuals, leading them to magnify potential downsides and cling to comfort zones. To counteract this, one must quantify those fears. What is the true cost of staying put versus the potential gains of a new venture? What is the actual value of those perceived sacrifices? For older individuals, boldness shifts to the courage to spend, to convert hard-earned resources into experiences, while health and opportunity still align, rather than succumbing to the irrational fear of future scarcity. The true risk isn't running out of money, but running out of time, leaving a legacy of unfulfilled potential and unspent life energy. Integrative analysis, the deliberate architecture of a fulfilled life. The commentary presented here converges on a single compelling thesis. A well-lived life is not an accidental byproduct of unchecked accumulation, but the deliberate architecture of intention. The Die with Zero framework, rather than being a literal financial instruction, emerges as a powerful philosophical lens. It compels us to reevaluate our ingrained financial behaviors, shifting our autopilot from a relentless, often unconscious pursuit of more towards a conscious optimization of our finite existence. This isn't about irresponsibility or hedonism. It's about a profound commitment to self-actualization through experiential richness, ensuring that our life energy is fully expended on the moments that truly matter. The core implication is a recalibration of values. When money is understood as life energy and experiences as investments yielding an enduring memory dividend, the traditional metrics of success, a large net worth at death, a sizable inheritance for heirs, are subtly subverted. Instead, success is redefined by the vibrancy of one's memories, the depth of one's connections, and the extent to which one has seized the unique opportunities presented by each life phase. This perspective forces an uncomfortable but ultimately liberating confrontation with our own mortality, transforming the abstract concept of future into concrete, time-bound seasons or buckets of opportunity. Crucially, this philosophy advocates for a dynamic balance. It rejects both reckless abandon and crippling frugality.
Instead, it champions consumption smoothing, strategically allocating resources to ensure a consistent, high-quality stream of experiences throughout life, rather than front-loading deprivation for a backloaded, potentially diminished period of enjoyment. This involves making informed choices, understanding the diminishing utility of money with age, leveraging financial instruments like annuities to mitigate longevity risk, and, critically, prioritizing investments in health and time, which are the ultimate enablers of all experiences. The implications for generosity are equally transformative. True legacy is reframed from belated financial transfers to timely, impactful giving, whether to children when they can most benefit or to charities addressing immediate needs. This proactive generosity, rooted in the understanding of money's peak utility and the power of shared experiences, fosters deeper connections and maximizes the positive ripple effect of one's wealth.
Ultimately, the aspiration to die with zero is an impossible task in its literal precision, given the unpredictable nature of life itself. But its worth lies not in its perfect attainment, but in its transformative power to guide decisions. It compels us to ask, what if I don't truly live, rather than, what if I run out? By adopting this mindset, by using tools like time bucketing and understanding our net worth peak, we transition from passive participants to active architects of our life story. The journey is complex, involving countless trade-offs between today's enjoyment and tomorrow's security. It demands an appreciation for the mathematical complexities of optimizing a lifespan, often requiring sophisticated analysis beyond simple rules. This is where modern analytical tools and frameworks, like specialized applications designed to simulate lifetime fulfillment curves, can provide invaluable guidance, helping individuals navigate these nuanced decisions. They act as simulation engines, processing myriad variables to illuminate the most efficient allocation of life energy, consistently pointing towards the core principle: to maximize fulfillment, leverage all your resources by life's end, ensuring a life lived without regret, a vibrant mosaic of cherished memories, rather than a legacy of unspent potential. Actionable Exercises. Actionable Exercises. High number 1. Time bucket your life's adventures. Life unfolds in distinct seasons, each with unique opportunities that fade with time. Don't let precious moments slip by unlived. Grab a large sheet of paper or open a digital document and sketch out a timeline of your life, divided into 5 or 10-year segments, e.g., ages 20 through 29, ages 30 through 39, etc., extending as far as you can reasonably imagine. Now, without worrying about money initially, list all the significant experiences, skills, and adventures you dream of having. This could be anything from hiking the Camino de Santiago, learning a new language, traveling with your young children, or starting a creative passion project. Once your list is complete, thoughtfully place each aspiration into the time bucket where it ideally belongs. Consider your physical energy, mental capacity, and the presence of loved ones. You'll likely discover that physically demanding activities are best placed in earlier years, while others might be more flexible. This isn't just a bucket list, it's a proactive design for your life's adventure, ensuring you seize opportunities when they are most vibrant and meaningful. Chapter 2: The True Cost of Your Choices. Every dollar you earn represents life energy, the finite hours you spend working. To make more conscious spending decisions, let's calculate the true cost of your choices. First, estimate your true hourly wage. Take your annual income, subtract taxes and work-related expenses like commuting, specific wardrobe, professional fees, and then divide by the actual hours you work per year. This gives you a more accurate hourly life energy rate. Next, pick a recent or recurring expense you've made, e.g., a new gadget, a designer item, a monthly subscription, or a gourmet coffee habit. Divide its cost by your true hourly wage. The result is the number of hours of your life energy you traded for that item or service. Reflect on this. Was that expense truly worth those precious hours of your life? What experiences could those hours or the money derived from them have funded instead? This exercise empowers you to make deliberate choices that align your spending with your deepest desires for a fulfilling life. 3. Invest in your memory bank. Experiences, unlike possessions, yield a memory dividend that appreciates over time, bringing lasting happiness and connection. Let's actively invest in this valuable bank. Take a moment to reflect on two categories of recent expenditures. 1. Experiences. List 3 to 5 positive experiences you've had recently, e.g., a weekend trip, a special meal with friends, a concert, a new hobby class. 2. Possessions. List 3 to 5 material items you've purchased recently, e.g., clothing, electronics, home decor. For each item in both categories, consider the memory dividend it has paid. How much joy, rich stories, lasting memories, or connection with others has it generated since the original purchase or event? You'll likely find that experiences continue to pay dividends long after they're over. Now, challenge yourself. Identify one upcoming material purchase you can forego or reduce and redirect that money towards an experience you've been wanting to have. Begin prioritizing your memory bank over your material possessions. 4. Timely generosity. Gifting impact. True generosity often lies in giving when it can have the greatest impact, not just after you're gone. If you intend to support loved ones or charitable causes, consider the profound difference timely giving can make. Think about the people in your life, your children, nieces, nephews, or friends, or specific causes you care deeply about. Instead of waiting for an inheritance or a posthumous donation, consider what age or life stage would unlock the maximum utility and enjoyment from your gift for them. For instance, a gift to a young adult establishing their career or buying their first home might be more transformative than waiting until they are 60. Brainstorm specific ways you could give money, time, or shared experiences sooner. This isn't just about financial gifts. It's about sharing your life energy in a way that truly enhances their lives, creates shared memories, and maximizes the positive impact of your generosity while you are alive and can witness the joy it brings. 5. Your no regrets micro-action plan. Many people, looking back, regret not having lived a life true to themselves, pursuing dreams, or spending enough time on cherished relationships. Imagine yourself 30, 40, or even 50 years from now. What are 3 to 5 experiences, relationships, or personal growth achievements that, if not pursued, you would deeply regret? Be honest with yourself. This might be a specific trip, a creative pursuit, a reconciliation, or a challenging personal goal. Once you've identified your top potential regrets, don't let them become reality. For each regret, identify one small, concrete micro-action you can take this week or this month to start addressing it. This isn't about grand gestures yet, but about taking that crucial first step. For example, if you regret not traveling more, your micro-action might be researching a destination, setting aside a small amount of money, or having a conversation with a travel buddy. Remember, the biggest risk is often inaction. Start today to build a life filled with experience points instead of what-ifs. That wraps up our exploration of today's book. If even one idea here gave you something to reflect on, give it a like so YouTube knows to share more with you. And if you'd like the next insight in your feed, hit subscribe. Remember, what you heard today is our independent interpretation, enriched with analysis and exercises. The full book has far more depth, so consider reading it to experience the author's work directly. Thanks for listening to DeftU Insights, where we turn great books into tools for growth.